It's time for the longest-running student show on KLPR, Throwin Lopes. Let's send it to the KLPR studios for your one-stop shop for all things Loper Athletics.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to your favorite hour of the week. It's the annual Throwin Lopes. So I guess it's the weekly edition of Throwin Lopes from 4 to 5. Joined us alongside, as always, Jon Willis, Traeton Harimon, Alex Hammeke. I'm Ethan McCormick. We're giving you a fresh hour of Loper sports and other stuff that we decided to talk about that just happens to come to our minds. We're going to start things off with the football team, which had victory snatched out of their palms on Saturday as Missouri Western scored 13 unanswered points and kicked a game-winning field goal in the fourth quarter.
We should start with the Twitter poll.
We should start with the Twitter poll, which is who is most likely to become a TikTok star? 4 usual suspects on the ballot. You got a little less than an hour left to vote on the Twitter poll. There's a clear winner right now, but go vote for who you think is most likely to be famous on TikTok.
I will say there's a pathetic number of people that have voted so far, so get on. I do want to say I did record a TikTok dance one time, posted on TikTok for about 24 hours. The baseball team I worked for found it, made fun of me, so yeah.
What's TikTok?
Just want to put that out there. You know what it is.
Oh,
Stop being like the... He's just trying to play into the old man vibe.
Yeah, the old man.
Get off my lawn!
Let's not get too off
Chinese
track
spyware
here. Something that we kind of are good at. Football, like mentioned, 13 unanswered points by Missouri Western in the fourth quarter. Thought the Lopers were going to have that win, but unfortunately, a game-winning field goal really capped that one off for the Griffins on Saturday.
Yeah, there's a lot you can look at kind of what happened in this game. You look late in the game, Lopers decide to punt at the Missouri Western 31. It takes kind of a bad ricochet. Nobody was there to cover. And then you look at that next drive where Missouri Western appeared to have fumbled the football. Lopers would have had it in plus territory. They go to review. They say that the runner was down for Missouri Western. And then they were able to go down the field, march down the field, and kick the game-winning field goal. So there's so many turning points. Obviously, a lot of things that the Lopers, could have done better in this game. But I thought, all in all, TJ threw the ball really well. He was 7 for 9, 2 touchdowns, didn't throw any interceptions. Sean Johnson Jr., they implemented him more into the game plan. He had 89 yards rushing, which was really good to see. So, again, lots of good things from the Lopers. But, again, Coach Held has always mentioned it. It's those 3 or 4 sequential disaster plays near the end of games that have cost the Lopers. And that's kind of what happened again on Saturday.
The thing that disappointed me the most was the fact that Missouri Western left 13 points on the board in the first half. You have the second drive when the Lopers give it up within their own 35. Missouri Western kicks a field goal, they miss. Then Missouri Western goes out on downs within the red zone. There's, at this point, 10 points that Missouri Western is left on the board. Then
Credit to the Loper D, though. For
yes,
that stuff.
very true there. And then at the very end, you have the field goal that's blocked by Tell Spees. There's 13 points there. The Loper defense was able to keep off the board and keep this game close. If it wasn't for that, we would be talking probably a very different ball game here. I can't figure out what is more disappointing for me, the fact that Missouri Western, with the amount of mistakes they made in the first half, was able to win, or the fact that you had a 13-point collapse in the fourth for me. It's kind of one of those two for me. I can't figure out which one is more the kick in the rear.
The most disappointing part for me is special teams. You come out, and I think Lopers played great. Offense, defense. Offense probably squandered a couple of opportunities, but special teams. There was probably 3 plays just on special teams that probably led to Missouri Western points. You missed a 23-yard field goal.
Yes.
That would have led the last field goal to be a tie and not a game winner. You have just an absolute mental lapse returning a kick.
Yep.
With the opposite fair catch, take a knee because you panic at the 4.
And then TJ fumbled right after that, right?
TJ fumbled.
Yeah.
And then you have the punt. No one's down there to cover it when it bounces at the 10-yard line, which isn't. There's a lot of things that should have happened on that play. But that one, you punt it for 12 yards when you look back at it, it's like maybe we should have taken the field goal. But it's just special teams was easily the most disappointing aspect of this contest for the Lopers in a game where I feel like they played well offensively and defensively.
Anything else?
Yeah, I'd agree, and that's something Coach Held has mentioned that special. It hasn't just been this game. Special teams has been an issue all year. Obviously, especially when you just look at the kicking game specifically. Gabe Hines had struggled with field goals, and so then Kyle Failing came in and started taking that over. Misses the 23, but then hits a 47-yarder. But again, special teams have definitely been a big issue, not just from the kickers, but from the coverage teams, like you mentioned. Because, again, that one play where it seemed like Missouri Western was starting to get the momentum, and then when you have a mental lapse like that, that just adds to it.
To add for context, 23 was into the wind. The 47 one was with the wind at his back.
Wind doesn't matter from 23 yards out. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Flat right now.
So
also, go back to week one. I think you can call this the second game that the Lopers blew on special teams. Could you go back to week one?
Yes.
I think you can easily say 2 games this season have been cost for the Lopers purely on special teams.
Yeah, because it was that roughing the punter there for Missouri for that Central Oklahoma game. That's what gave the Broncos a victory in that one. And now you have the punt and the missed field goals.
I want to dive at the upcoming schedule for the Lopers because the Lopers have 2 tough road games coming up on their slate. They have 3 games left in the season. Saturday at 2 p.m. they go down to Emporia, and they return home against Lincoln for a non-con game. And then they go on the road again for their final game of the year against Northwest Missouri State. Is there a winnable game besides Lincoln on the schedule for the Lopers in these last 2 to 3 games?
Call me nuts. I think that if we get a Emporia State team that finds themselves after giving up 981 yards to Central Missouri and losing 77-27, if they decide the season is over for us, playoffs for Emporia State are gone. The bowl bid potential is on the ropes right now. Everybody went into this season thinking that Emporia State would be a team that would be competing for the number 2 spot for the MIAA playoffs, and they're right now not in it at all. Is this an Emporia State team that tucks their stinger between their wings, flies to the hive with as little pride as they have left, and just throws their hands up and says, we don't care anymore, and have an absolutely terrible collapse? If we get that sort of team out of Emporia State Saturday, I think that UNK has a chance.
I'm going to be honest, I don't think we get that team out of Emporia State.
Yeah, that was about to say. The other option is Emporia State comes in. They were embarrassed at Central Missouri. They're going to embarrass the next team that comes in, and unfortunately, UNK is, in essence, toast thanks to the MIAA scheduling gods. So there's 1 of 2 options.
I don't think it matters what kind of Emporia State team shows up. I think the Lopers have a chance to win all 3 of these games, and that's not based off of me being optimistic. It's the fact that they've been in every single game they've played in this year. It might not look by the final score, but that's something we've talked about all season, is how big second halves have propelled teams. But every single game, the Lopers have been in at one point and have showed that they can compete with top teams. So I don't think it matters what Emporia State team. The Lopers will be in these football games. Coach Held has said all season long we will be in every single one of these football games. It's just a matter of can they cut out those disaster plays.
I mean, you really can't hit it more on the nail than that. To be honest with you,
it does help, however, if Emporia State comes in with a poor mindset. That's something that will drastically help. But I mean, if you also have Emporia State that comes in and decides we're going to smash this team in, I don't think there's much that you can do in that instance. So I mean, a lot of it, I think, for the Emporia State match kind of depends on what mindset's going right now through Welch Stadium right now in that locker room.
Well, then that same logic could apply to us.
Very true,
so
yeah.
I think this is just a guessing game.
Yeah.
But when you look at it from a football standpoint, Lopers could be in this game.
True.
No. Anything else, Traeton? Anything else? All right.
Go Lopes.
Go Lopes. All right, we're gonna move our way to the hardwood and talk about the Loper volleyball team who had a rough
weekend. Terraflex.
Oh, it's my bad.
Move to the Terraflex.
It looks like hardwood, but okay, Terraflex if we're being specific. As the Lopers had a rough weekend on the road, losing in 4 sets to Central Oklahoma last Friday, and then Pittsburgh State on Saturday. Mind you, Pittsburgh State is in the bottom half of the MIAA. And then they get a thrilling 4-set win against Emporia State last night.
It's kind of been an interesting stretch. Record doesn't tell the whole story for Emporia State. They've been a much improving team. They have one of the best Division II hitters in the entire country with Sandora Sasaki and
who dominated last
night. Note about that too. This last weekend against Central Missouri, she set the Division II record for the season for most kills in a match with 32, and then she had 33 yesterday against the Lopers, resetting that record for the season. But the fact that they were able to overcome a historic performance like that and still win was pretty impressive.
Yeah, but I mean, you look at that drop-off, Sandoria Sasaki, 33 kills. The next closest Hornet had 4. Mm-hmm. So it was the Sasaki show for the Hornets.
It's like the 2019 Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers and nobody else.
Oh, there we go. Alex?
I've been saying it, I think, all season. Ken Maruchek for MIAA Volleyball Coach of the Year. And we, were able to witness that firsthand with the turnaround he's done with Emporia State. To move a little bit to the weekend and what happened, Central Oklahoma does not 100% surprise me. It's Pittsburgh State what that was the eye-opening what just happened for me. I don't know what exactly happened there, but it appears we've got things kind of figured out. But you can't just drop a game like that to Pitt State. That's not acceptable, unfortunately. So
the running joke is that we sold our soul to be Washburn for the first time in 4 years, and it looked that way for a second. But I also think it's just a matter of when the last third of the season, nobody's healthy. You go on a long road trip where you expect to walk away with one and then you get punched in the mouth. I think it's just a lot of things, but it just comes back to me for that back half of the season, long road trip. Nobody's really healthy at this point in the season in any sport that's been going on this long. I think you just got to look at that weekend, throw it away, realize that you probably blew your opportunity to host, and try to win out the rest of the season.
And to add to that, Traeton, Washburn lost in 4 to Fort Hays State last night. So this is becoming a bit of a trend, it looks like. And, I mean, you have some of these teams that are in the top half of the conference. They're dropping games that are more of the eye-opening what just happened games. And case point, at Gross Memorial Coliseum last night with Fort Hays getting a victory over Washburn in 4.
And I think it just shows the transparency in the league that if you take a match off or if you're kind of sleepwalking into a match, you're going to lose no matter who you play, because even the bottom teams in the league have pulled off upsets. They've beat top teams in the league, and I think that's a big part of it. So, I'm not too worried about the Lopers. Obviously, it kind of sucks that hosting is probably out the window, but I think the Lopers will be just fine.
They've got 5 games left on their schedule, one more home game of the year against Newman on Saturday at 2 p.m., and then they have a nice little 4 straight games, all of which are going to be in Missouri. Northwest Missouri, Missouri Western, Missouri Southern, Central Missouri. Those are 4 pretty tough teams.
It's a brutal schedule.
That's a brutal way to end the season. You can't overlook any of those final 4 teams to end the season.
You can. Again, Missouri Western and Jessica Fee, she's done a tremendous job in the second year there at Mo West. Give her, I think next year that's a team that's going to be challenging for a spot in the regional rankings for the Central Region. Those will be announced, I believe, next week, the first round of regional rankings. We don't have that for volleyball, but football and women's soccer so far this week. That'll be in the mailbag.
All right.
Looking at that 2-week road trip, if the Lopers don't wake up, if they don't get off the bus, it could very easily be a 2-2 weekend. If the Lopers sleep on Northwest Missouri, actually, it could easily be a 1-3 weekend if the Lopers don't come out against Northwest.
It's
Missouri
split into
Western
2 weekends.
And Central Missouri. That's what I mean. You could easily go on a 1-3 skid end this year if you don't come off the bus.
Yep.
Well, you can join Cade Moore from the Health and Sports Center, as that game will be on the MIAA network. That game will be starting at 2 p.m. Go out and support the Loper volleyball team for their last home game.
Senior night.
Yep, senior night.
Senior day.
Well, senior day, right.
We're giving them a whole day now.
2 p.m.
Loper soccer
Senior afternoon.
had a 1-1
It's like a Golden
weekend.
Corral special.
Yeah.
Oh, dear Lord. Oh, dear.
Seniors get 60% off.
Oh, my.
You're laughing way too
like
hard
the
at that.
Oh, dear.
Loper soccer.
Loper soccer had a 1-1
I'm interested
weekend.
now.
Can I introduce the next topic?
Yeah,
I
go
want
ahead.
this
Go ahead.
buffet special.
Loper soccer had a 1-1 weekend this week, and in Missouri they lost 0-5 to Central Missouri on Friday night. Then responded pretty well with the 2-1 victory over Missouri Southern on Sunday. They have 2 more home games left. Fellas, how do we think of the UNK soccer team and how they played this last weekend?
Well, a brutal game against a really good Central Missouri team. They were outshot 27-1, lost 5-0. That's just one of those teams that is still, they're one of the top teams in the conference, and Lopers aren't to their level yet. But UNK did a really nice job in that second game, battling back against a Missouri Southern team that, again, they should beat, a team that has yet to win a game in the conference. It was really impressive how the Lopers got ahead, but then Missouri Southern crept back in it, tied the game, and UNK was still able to find a win because in the past years we've seen that not take effect. And there's a possibility, fellas, if the Lopers, and you talk with Coach Breton about this, Traeton, Lopers win one or tie both, there's a very good chance they'll be in the conference tournament.
We probably could have had a 2-hour-long conversation with Coach Breton about all the situations that could happen this weekend if the Lopers are able to pull out of that number 9 spot in the rankings. They're behind Rogers State by a game, so they need a win or those last 2 ties. It's based on win percentage and conference points, and the Lopers are just sneaking up on Rogers State, who's on a skid of their own. So if the Lopers just get even a draw, one draw would... No, it has to be 1 win or 2 draws.
Well, right now they have the same conference win percentage at .333.
Yep.
If they draw and Rogers State loses out, would that move the Lopers slightly ahead?
It would.
I think so.
And you also have to look at underneath them. You got Central Oklahoma.
Yeah, because they're at .333 as well.
So what it is you look at those conference points, not just the win percentage, because points are what matters here, the more than the win percentage. Because a draw is 1 point. I think a win is, I don't even remember how much.
A draw is 1, win is 3, loss is 0.
So, yeah, it's going to be, if the Lopers better come out and play against Emporia Friday.
So you don't lose anything if you lose. It just zero. Okay.
It would just.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Losing Friday means the Lopers have to win against one of the best teams in the conference. When Fort Hays rolls into town on Sunday, which would make for an electric atmosphere for the last home game of the season.
Electric.
If that were to tilt that way.
Game 7 type stuff.
The schedule, and I hate to be the Debbie Downer here, the schedule does not play favorites at this point. Rogers State has a very easy draw of their own, unfortunately.
You're a hater.
Hey, I'm not a hater, but I'm a realist. I'm a realist. Rogers State takes on Central Oklahoma and Northeastern State. Both games are at home. Both of those programs have struggled a little bit as well, and they're all kind of in that same spot. So you've got the Lopers going up against the top of the conference, then you've got Rogers State with 2 very favorable opponents, one might say, this weekend. So you're rooting for the Broncos, you're rooting for the Riverhawks, and you're rooting for the Lopers this weekend.
I think it's just exciting that we're in that conversation with only 2 games left because that hasn't been the case. So
it's refreshing.
I think it's exciting that we're at least able to talk about if this happens, we could get in. So
yeah, and that's what just coming into this week with the opportunity, Coach Breton said, is everything that this group needs to be motivated. They want to. Oh, yeah. You got 3 fifth years that want to go out on a note. And that would be the perfect way for things to end. Like you said, though, Rogers State, they get 1 win, they pretty much seal themselves in. Yeah. So Lopers are looking around the league. It's kind of like those scenarios you see on TV where it's like, if this team wins, ties, draws, dies on the field, they get into the playoffs.
Dies on the field?
Yeah, whoa, hey now.
Hey, if it happens, it happens.
I
don't want anybody to die on the field.
You're going full-blown Steve Kornacki on us.
Nobody please die on the field.
Please. He asked nicely.
2 more home games. KLPR will have them right here as Emporia State. Elijah Mosier will be on the call for that one, and then I will be on the call for Fort Hays. Both games are at 2 p.m. on October 27th and October 29th as the Lopers try to clinch a spot in the MIAA tournament to end the season. Speaking of the MIAA championships, Loper cross country men and women both finish 5th at the 2023 MIAA Championships that was hosted in Columbia, Missouri last Friday afternoon. The 18th ranked Lopers tallied 109 points in the 11-team race.
Yeah, Nick Abdallah 7th, Brett Schaffner 13th, Grace Bonzel 15th, Bonzel to 3rd straight all MIAA finish. Lopers had 4 total between the men and the women. And now looking ahead to the NCAA Central Regional.
They sure ran. Down to Mizzou. even,
Dynamite
so-
dropping.
Yeah, the MI, and that's something that was pretty proud there for Mike Racy. You're able to get all these really big places where you can have your championship events at, such as Columbia's Gans Creek cross country course. We're talking one of the premier NCAA cross country courses in the nation, and that's where the league championship was. Everybody says that the MIAA is the SEC of Division II, and when you're able to compete at the SEC level facilities, such as Mizzou, be it Mizzou's a bit mid-range, I would say, for an SEC school, but when you're still able to compete at the SEC facilities, you're able to put some stock in that we are the SEC of Division II right there, I think.
Anything else on the cross-country front?
Congrats.
All right, let's
Go
hit the
run.
let's hit the water. UNK swimming did not do too hot last Friday in Pueblo, Colorado. They dropped their meet, their CSU Pueblo triangular. They lost both times to Colorado St. Pueblo and to Western Colorado. Colorado St. Pueblo, they lost 164 to 244, and then they lost to Western Colorado 85 to 341. I don't know a lot about swing points, but that seems like a blowout.
Well, looking at some of the positives,
Did have some. We had winners.
We
did
some-
have
some
winners.
and a
No.
couple runner-ups.
That's my fault.
We had a winner. We did not have.
Yeah, we had a winner and
multiple.
3 runner-ups.
Hey,
Cheyenne Parlier won the 3-meter, was runner-up on the 1-meter. Carly Bennett was in second place in the 100 butterfly, and Maggie Waddington was second in the 50 freestyle.
And now the Lopers look ahead to their home meet
Yes.
Their
for the
only-
fall. Their
Yeah.
only home meet of the
Yeah.
fall until the spring, but the spring hasn't been announced yet. Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
going to
No.
be,
No.
next Friday and Saturday. Friday, it's going to be at Kearney High School. Go out and support the UNK swim team. Then they got the Eagle Invitational in Edmond, Oklahoma.
We might be jumping off a board there.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
just
we still. Oh, yeah.
ready for
Next
that.
week, is that the
Yeah,
Twitter poll question
I think
next
so.
week?
If we can get it set up. Our swimming correspondent is still working on it.
This is the worst idea we've ever had. This is stupid.
No, I like it. I like it.
What's wrong with it, huh? You just don't want to win.
No,
Yeah,
you know what?
yeah.
I do want John to win that, though.
Why me?
Do we have to wear a Speedo?
What?
That would make
No. No,
Thank
you just
you.
jump in.
Shave your legs on air.
Shave your leg.
Oh, gosh.
No.
Anyway, Loper swimming and on to...
Are we? I think that's about it for sports. Did I miss anything?
Loper Tennis was at the Washburn
well, I messed up.
Invitational.
Gosh darn
And they
nabbit.
cooked.
They
Ish.
Ishly cooked.
I love Ashley.
Traeton,
cooking.
you probably know more about how it went.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Both teams wrapped up their fall season in Topeka, Kansas at the Washburn Invite. On the women's side, Masha Hotaka went 3-0 in her singles and double matches, and she was teamed up with teammate Jasmine Zamorano to win the B East doubles title. Melissa Becerra and Norindra Ranavia would reach the A Blue doubles finals.
Howdy,
Ravino
guys.
and Fabiano Gamboa would reach the B Red singles finals, and Alexis Bernthal finished 3-0 in the C East singles. For the men, Ahmed Abdelaziz made it, and Tom Vandendungen made it to the E Orange singles finals. And Yip Men's and Andy Briston both finished
dude,
2
you're
and
choking
1
under the pressure
in the
here.
C Green singles draw. Men's and Vandendungen
It's the Oklahoma
also
State
both
quarterback.
picked up a win in doubles. It's like I'm interviewing Coach Amy all over again.
Nailed it.
Yeah, it's like I wrote that already.
Yeah.
It's like I had the
saw you
script.
reading straight off of that.
So did
Check out the
people.
other Loper recaps in this week's edition of the Antelope.
No, you
No.
can check out the Loper recaps on Loper Update tomorrow. Okay?
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but
hear
do you have swimming in there?
I do.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Now that we have recapped all the Loper sports, I think it's time for the most dreaded part of the week.
I got one more thing.
Dreaded.
I got one
John's
more
got one
thing.
more thing. The Twitter poll question.
No, the Loper women's basketball team has an exhibition game against
I am
Traeton
struggling today.
coming up on Monday. We will bring you that game from
fired.
DJ Sokol Arena right here on 91.1 FM KLPR. Pre-game at 5:30, tip-off at 6. And
Train's
we'll have
gonna-
Yes, sir.
game interview with Drew Johnson and a halftime interview with Trinity Law.
Train's going to call in and do play-by-play over FaceTime.
Yeah, that's what you think. That's what you get for leaving. You don't get to
Ooh,
come
roasted.
to Traeton.
Heartbreak.
Roasted.
Don't get to watch an exhibition game.
Oh, darn. Shoot.
Hey.
Well, you're missing out.
Hey.
It is exciting. Stoked for the girls.
We are all stoked
They're
for that
women.
MIAA mailbag. Not. Get it going.
Who's we?
Yeah, Ethan, who's we? So, as mentioned, MIAA Cross Country Championships took place on Friday. The winner for the women's 6,000 meter was Fort Hays State's Reagan Hogsden. On the men's side, the 8,000 meter run went to Washburn's David Kibet. Meanwhile, the team championships went to Pittsburgh State, winning both the men's and the women's. It's the first time in the school's history that Pitt State has won both the men's and the women's title, and it's a bit surprising considering the Gorillas are the powerhouse of MIAA Cross Country. Ben Barrows, the Gorillas head track and field coach / cross country coach, has been named the coach of the year as well for men's and women's cross country. And I do want to shout out my cousin Erin. She's a runner on that Pitt State cross country team. So go Rillas. Let's move on to the old football poll, the American Football Coaches Association poll as it stands right now. Colorado Mines. Yeah, go Rillas. That's what they say down there in Pittsburgh, Ethan. Let's look on to the AFCA coaches poll. Speaking of which, the Go Rillas are at number 2, right in front of Colorado Mines.
Raising your voice.
Because you guys are acting like jackwagons. Anyways, Colorado Mines is number 1. Pitt State's the 2. Grand Valley State 3. Harding the number 4. Rounding on the top 5 is Benedict at the number 5. 6 through 10 rolls like this: Slippery Rock, Lenore Rhine, Ferris State, Western Colorado, and Indianapolis. And then all the way down at number 15 is Central Missouri. Central Missouri, the team that blasted Emporia State out of the water by 50. They only go up 1 spot in the AFCA coaches poll. I would like to denounce the injustices of the AFCA. D2football.com, I think, got it right. Last week, the Mules were at 17. This week, they're at number 11. That's all for football for now, at least. Looking over to the AVCA Division II women's volleyball poll. Speaking of which, as we mentioned earlier, it is sponsored by Terraflex, the manufacturers of UNK's cord. I wanted to mention that because why not?
Thank you.
You know, this is the most dreaded part of the of Throwin Lopes for you, isn't it, Ethan?
Oh, yeah. I didn't
Yeah.
know you were gonna bring that up.
I'll make you pay for that comment. Wayne State, our in-state rivals to the Northeast, are number 1 this week. Tampa's at the 2, Missouri St. Louis at the 3, Concordia St. Paul, the Fighting Grant Tigers are number 4, and the Fighting Josh Lynn's at West Texas A&M are number 5. 6 through 10 goes through like this: Southwest Minnesota State, Metropolitan State, Denver, Cal State San Bernardino, and St. Cloud State. Newcomers to the AVCA top 10. They're at number 8 and 9 respectively. UNK only dropped 2 spots after this weekend. They are now at number 10 overall. Looking at the other teams from the MIAA, Central Oklahoma took a 2-spot rise. They're now at number 17. Washburn made a 4-spot crash. They're at number 25 overall. Barely stayed in the poll this week. Looking at the teams that are receiving votes, Central Missouri and Northwest Missouri State are receiving votes. I'm a bit surprised that the Missouri Western Griffins aren't. Speaking of football, again, the NCAA Division II announced the regional rankings for the postseason. This is the week where they announce it in alphabetical order, and this is the one that nobody likes because it's in alphabetical order. Just give us the 1 through 10, dang it. But nobody in Indianapolis listens to old Alex Hammeke. Let's roll through Super Region 3. From the MIAA, you've got Central Missouri, Missouri Western, and Pittsburgh State represented. From the Great American Conference, you have Washita Baptist and Harding represented, and from the GLVC you have the University of Indianapolis. What are you fellas playing now?
Nothing, sir.
Just continue. We were enhancing.
Yeah, keep going.
Sure you are. Let's see. Where was I at? The GLVC had University of Indianapolis in there, and that's the only team. Excuse me, the UIndy and Truman State. See, you guys got me off rhythm. Meanwhile, from the GLIAC, the Great Lakes Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, you have Davenport, Ferris State, and Grand Valley State. So again, in Super Region 3, it goes as follows, and I'll go through it again because these 3 decided to ruin it for me again. Central Missouri, Davenport, Ferris State, Grand Valley, Harding, Missouri Western, Washita Baptist, Pittsburgh State, Truman State, University of Indianapolis. Next week, they'll actually be ranked not in alphabetical order. Women's soccer also announced their poll. 5 teams from the MIAA are in that Central region. Again, in alphabetical order: Central Missouri, Emporia State, Fort Hays, Washburn, and Northwest Missouri State. Looking at the general Division II and NCAA realm, Pete Ricketts, our lovely senator, alongside Democrat from Connecticut Richard Blumenthal, they introduced the Name, Image, and Likeness for International Collegiate Athletes Act in the past week. It's a 3-page bill that would allow for international student athletes to participate in NIL opportunities by amending the Immigration and Nationality Act. Currently, if you're an international student and you want to partake in NIL, you can only do so when you go back to your home country. So now this would allow for international student athletes to take part in it when they are here in the United States itself. And that's the only thing that I have left for the MIAA mailbag. My time probably not good.
5:09.
Well, I was about to say, it would have been 4:30 if you hadn't distracted me.
We're seeing if you can work under pressure. Obviously, you can't.
I can, yeah, but then you guys are playing stuff over the replay machine.
You couldn't hear it.
Yeah, I couldn't hear it, but you're like, hey, guys, put on your headphones. You can hear something. I knew something was playing. I'm not that stupid. I'm stupid, but not that stupid.
Speaking of being stupid, you would be stupid not to vote on our Twitter poll question.
That's a great segue, Ethan.
Which is, who is most likely to become a TikTok star? Clear winner for first place. He got 30 minutes left to vote in the Twitter poll question. We're going to step aside real quick. When we come back, it's time for our week, 9 or 10 pick'ems, as well as some other sports that we'll talk about right here on 91.1 KLPR.
Whether it's food, shopping, or just hanging out, the Nebraskan Student Union has it all. Come dine in our newly renovated dining hall, The Grays, or check out one of our retail dining options. Looking for new Loper gear to wear to the next campus event? Drop into the bookstore and shop Loper clothing and merchandise. Just looking for a place to hang out or study? The Union has plenty of meeting rooms and tables at your disposal. The Nebraskan Student Union, located in the heart of the University of Nebraska at Kearney campus.
Hi, I'm Alex Hammeke, host of KLPR Daybreak. Join me weekday mornings, 7:45 to 8, for the news, weather, sports, a check of the markets, and the KLPR community calendar. Everything you need to know before the 8 a.m. lecture starts. KLPR Daybreak, 7:45 to 8, weekday mornings on 91.1 FM.
.1 KLPR FM, your student radio station at the University of Nebraska at Kearney, is your home for all home Loper softball action.
The 1-1 pitch on its way from Egger as she sets and fires, and that one is lined into left center field. That is well struck, and that one's gonna go out of here. That one is well out, and a leadoff home run for Sydney Thomason.
So tune in for every home Loper softball game right here on your student-run radio station, 91.1 KLPR.
I'm starving right now. You guys trying to get some burgers?
Didn't we already go last night? Let's get pizza instead.
You guys have been spending a lot of your money on fast food lately. You should go take a trip to the grocery store.
We could, but fast food is way cheaper than a $100 grocery bill.
When buying healthy food, yes, it is more expensive, but when you buy it in portion sizes, it makes it a lot cheaper.
You know what? You're right. Let's go get groceries instead.
Did you know that students spend an average of $71 on fast food per month? Choosing to eat healthy may not be the fun choice, but your bank and your body will thank you.
Welcome back to Throwin Lopes, right here on 91.1 KLPR. John, what is this comeback song?
I don't know, something I had downloaded.
Oh.
Probably use it for a pregame show.
Hey, got a nice beat to it. I really like it. Hey, what?
I'm so fly with the kids. It's got a nice beat to it.
Beat to it.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Can really get down and snap to this one.
Oh, boy.
Well, I know how to snap now, actually.
John, I'll let you take it away for week 9 pickup.
All right, let's do it. Let's talk about last week first. Traeton won the week with a record of 5-1.
Oh!
Alex and Traeton both went 4-2. I struggled this week, record of 2-4. There is a new leader of the pick'ems. Traeton is now in first place with a record of 25 and 27.
As it comes across the ticker, too.
I'm in second place with a record of 24 and 28. Alex with a record of 21 and 31, and even after a 4-2 week, Ethan rounding up the rear with a record of 18 and 34.
Wow.
Let's get into this week's pick'ems. Not as many ranked matchups this week. We'll start with a Big 12 matchup. Oklahoma on the road is a 10-point favorite at Kansas.
Is that how we feel about this game? Alex, I'll let you start.
Why am I? Okay,
we'll go this way.
Okay, that's fair. I wasn't really all that impressed with Oklahoma after losing to Central Florida.
They didn't lose to Central Florida. They beat them.
I thought that.
No, Oklahoma's 7-0, and they're ranked 6th in the country.
Well, I look.
It was close, but they won that game.
Yeah.
You can tell how much I paid attention to college football this week.
Yes.
This is what happens when you make me start. Boomer Sooner. Oklahoma covers.
I'm going to go Oklahoma no cover. They struggle a little bit against UCF. I think Kansas has got a better offense than UCF.
Oklahoma cover.
I like that pick, Mr. Traeton. I will be picking Oklahoma to cover on the road as well. When you look at Kansas, well,
it's going to be a good game.
It's going to be.
It is. When you look at the comparable opponents with UCF, Oklahoma beat them by 2, and the week before, Kansas beat them 51-22.
Ooh.
But then Kansas went and got blown out by Oklahoma State the next week.
Hey, we're on YouTube. Try not to get us copyright taken down.
Yeah, can you please take that? Turn that off. Thank you.
Good
Just trying to play the Boomer Sooner theme song.
I'll stick with it, though. All right, ranked matchup in the Pac-12. Oregon minus 6.5 at Utah.
Ooh.
Normally, I would say Utah, and they proved it again, and they went and they defeated USC. Caleb Williams, I don't think is the great quarterback we think he is.
I think he's still good.
He's still good, but he's not.
USC's defense is just really bad.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be. I question if he's truly the number 1 pick. I think some teams might be
Who
rethinking
else?
maybe. I don't know. That's the thing.
Yeah, see.
So.
See, that's the debate I hate. It's like Caleb Williams has a couple bad games, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's not number 1," and then everybody's like, "Who?" And then they're like, "Well, I don't know."
Drake May.
The other thing that stands in Caleb Williams' way, and if this is true or not, the fact that he wants a partial ownership of the team that drafts him.
What does this have to do with your pick between Oregon and Utah?
Well, I was trying to say, I mean, Oregon, okay, Utah had a really good game, but at the same time, I mean, it was against USC. So, I'm going to go Oregon no cover on this one. I think it's only going to be like a 4 or 5 point game.
Oh, I'm going to go Oregon cover. I think Oregon's offense and their defense is really well. Their defense only averages 312.6 yards per game. Wow. Oregon's offense, over 550 yards per game. I think Bo Nix is a top 3 quarterback.
This might be the pick of the week. This one's tough.
It is on the road, though. Oregon does have a road game.
Oregon does have a... yeah, give me Oregon to cover.
I will take Oregon cover as well. I think they will cover, and they will also win by multiple touchdowns.
Yes, sir.
I don't think... Utah's good, but I think Oregon is a national championship contender kind of good this year. So...
All right, before you go do the next game, Bo Nix, top 5 or 3 quarterback in your opinion?
Like out of just quarterbacks or out of all the draft picks?
Okay, I guess that's 2 different discussions.
Yeah.
Out of the draft picks, I guess. Or no, okay,
he's definitely
quarterbacks. I guess out of quarterbacks.
Out of quarterbacks, I think he's top 3.
Out of draft picks, he's not.
No,
But
I
out
think
of
he's probably top 15 in draft, but I'd say he's borderline top 3.
Okay, I think my top 3 right now is Drake May, Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, and then Michael Penix.
Mine's 1, DJ Irons.
Yeah, and I was about to say, if there's any quarterback that I think that could knock off Caleb Williams from being the number 1, it's going to be either Bo Nix or Michael Penix Jr., I think. Those are my 2 picks that could do it.
All right, back to pick'ems. What do we got next?
Oh, yeah. Also I picked Oregon to cover. Little SEC battle. Georgia hits the road to take on Florida. Georgia on the road is minus 14.5 point favorites.
Any day now, Alex.
Give me a second. Give me a second here. My brain's right now still computing this. Only a 17-point win to Vanderbilt.
Georgia really hasn't been.
I'm gonna go Georgia no cover. There we go.
Thank you, Ethan.
You're welcome.
I guess while we wait for Alex and Traeton, I will also pick Georgia no cover. I think this is part Georgia has underperformed this year, and part Florida has been. They've looked good at times this season. So Georgia
Tennessee.
no cover. They win by 10-12.
I'm gonna. Oh, go ahead, Traeton.
Georgia no cover.
Had the Bulldogs been able to defeat Vanderbilt by. Thank you, John.
That's a bulldog.
Well, I'm speechless right now. Had Georgia been able to defeat Vanderbilt by a lot stronger of a margin, I would be saying Georgia cover, but I'm going Georgia no cover, so this one's a KLPR sweep.
It's a KLPR sweep.
We need to make a graphic for that. Or
Well,
not graphic.
Another SEC battle. Tennessee on the road. They are 3.5-point favorites at Kentucky.
That's tough, actually.
Well, I don't make these easy on you. This isn't the Get Free Wins Bowl here.
Have you guys seen Tennessee's social media team?
Yes.
They are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
They are.
What is the game again? Tennessee? I don't
Tennessee.
know. Give me Tennessee to cover. I don't care.
Okay. I like it.
I'll do Tennessee cover 2.
Alex.
I thought you were going third, John. Yeah. Give me Rocky Top. Tennessee
What are you
covers.
looking at?
Their Instagram.
It's
Out there.
Oh, their Instagram.
It's like the Bills' Instagram.
The Chargers have the best social media.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's another KLPR sweep. Duke is at Louisville. Louisville is a 4-point favorite at home.
I never know what to make of the ACC.
I like Louisville to cover.
Do you just call it Louisville?
Louisville.
It's Louisville.
Louisville.
Oh, dear God. Louisville to cover.
Louisville.
Yeah.
I'll take Louisville. No.
Haven't they both beaten Notre Dame? No. Yes. No.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Duke lost by 7.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because their quarterback got hurt, and then it was the Sam
All right,
Hartman's a
all
good
right.
guy because he
Wait,
was
have they said if Riley Leonard's healthy this week?
Tight end Cuddy.
I think that has a big
I don't
part of
think
my
so.
decision. Uncertain for Louisville game, so just to be safe, then I'll choose Louisville to cover,
Yeah.
just in case he doesn't play.
I'm going on common opponent here, and everybody knows my thoughts on Notre Dame. Louisville cover. Ethan, you good over there?
Traeton, it's your pick.
They're right now going.
Traeton, it's your pick.
What do we pick? Oh, Louisville. You know what?
What?
Do we know if Riley Leonard's playing? Did we establish that one?
Status uncertain.
Uncertain? Yikes.
Yeah.
That makes this tough.
Yeah.
That's why I said Louisville cover.
Yeah, that's my safe pick because
Louisville cover.
Louisville could win this game
Louisville.
if Riley Leonard is playing, and if Riley Leonard doesn't play, they definitely win this game. So that's why I'm going.
Okay, Louisville cover.
All right, huge game in the Mountain West this week.
I love this.
UNLV 3-0 now in the Mountain West. They are 6-1 on the season, taking on Fresno State, who is 6-1 on the season, 2-1 in the Mountain West. Fresno State needs this conference win to stay alive in the Mountain West. Fellas, who do we got in this monster matchup? Fresno State are 7.5-point favorites at home.
Fresno State no cover.
No cover at 7.5, huh?
Yeah. 28-24 type game right here.
This is-
35-31 type game.
I don't know about that.
I don't pay attention
Both
enough
teams
to the
average over
Mountain West.
415 yards of offense per game.
Yeah, it's the Mountain West.
Yeah. It's air raid type. Just throw the ball, sling it. Slinger dingers.
God, they both beat CSU by less than 5 points, too.
Dude, I'm saying this is like the matchup of the year.
UNLV, yeah.
We need to watch this game together,
We
guys.
should. Everybody getting together 9:30. We'll be up till 1.
I'm down for that.
I'll tune in from Atlanta. It'll be 10:30. Good Lord, this is a horrible game.
What?
No, it's a great game, but
Yeah,
it's
you're
a
a
horrible
mountain
pick.
pick,
yeah.
Like they beat
I
everybody
get what
by
you
the
mean.
same margin.
Yeah, I'm telling you. This
Oh.
is a tough one.
You know what? Give me the Rebels.
Heck yeah, my boy. Rebels. That's what they do at basketball games because I've been to a couple. Anyways,
I feel
You
like
said that like a proud 6-year-old. I've been to a couple Rebel games. They say it at the games, I swear.
my dad's a big Rebel guy, so I always have to represent the Rebels. Alex, go.
I feel like UNLV would have lost in a closer game if it wasn't for Michigan picking off their signs. So there's that dig out of the way, and I am going to go with UNLV. Give me the Rebs.
Can the conversation be made that if Michigan then still signs, UNLV wins that game and is undefeated?
Well, I'm not saying they're going to be undefeated. I'm saying it's not going to be 35-7. It's going to be like 35.
This might be the Rebels'
yeah,
year.
35-17.
This might be their
UCF
year.
national title type of year.
They haven't won a basketball championship
we're not
since '91.
doing that again.
So
we're not doing that.
We're not doing that.
That was horrible. I hated that even when I was a sophomore in high school.
Thank you.
I will take UNLV as well. Go Rebels. Last game, the game we always pick last, Nebraska. They are at home. They are 2.5-point favorites at home over the Boilermakers.
Just because the spread's so close, I think Nebraska wins, but it's obviously a Nebraska cover just because it's 2.5. The only reason it's 2.5 is because Nebraska's at home, too. I think if this was on the road, Purdue would be favored.
So you said Nebraska?
Nebraska cover.
These are some horrible games.
Yeah,
I'm making it tough on you this week.
I really wish that this week was Michigan State week, because then I could just talk all the smack.
You know what?
On Spartans.
Purdue did lose to Mountain West Powerhouse Fresno State.
Well, good. Go Bulldogs. Anyway, Purdue gave Nebraska whiteboard material like you guys gave Elijah whiteboard material last week. So give me the Skurs to cover.
Oh, yeah, because then their coach come out.
Because their coach played at Colorado.
I hate that in. Get all that off the field.
That sounded so bad.
Give me Nebraska to cover. Because you can't pull a jabroni move like that.
Okay, Kelsey.
Sorry.
You look at the one comparable opponent. No. Nebraska's played Ohio State, yes? No.
Nebraska has played
I got them mixed
Purdue,
up.
and Purdue defeated Illinois 44-19.
Yes, so we really struggled against Illinois. They beat the brakes off of Illinois. With the injuries to the offense, I do not.
Give me Purdue.
Nope, can't change it. You're locked in. Especially because I think this will be a toss-up game anyways, and if it comes down to Heinrich having to throw the ball on a game-winning touchdown late, that will not happen. So give me Purdue to win on the road at Nebraska, and that is a wrap-up of Pick'ems.
Big Ten West is terrible.
Yes, that would be accurate.
All right, well, that wraps up our Pick'ems for the week. I'm hoping to dig myself out of this hole a little bit, but you got 11 minutes left to vote on the Twitter poll question. No one has voted during this
This
whole
is
show.
pathetic, guys.
No one has voted within the last probably 2.5 hours, because last time I checked at about 2:15, it was still 9 votes.
Pathetic.
So we need more votes. Let's get this to at least double-digit votes, please, ladies and gentlemen.
Can we get a like in the chat? Can we get a repost?
Yeah, let's. Everybody
comment in the chat. Leave a like. You could be entered to win nothing because we cannot do a giveaway.
Right. But one thing I want to touch on, the World Series is set. It's set to start Friday night. Arizona Diamondbacks versus the Texas Rangers. Diamondbacks pull off a big upset against the Phillies, especially on the road. So it should be a good World Series.
I'm just glad we have 2 new teams, but it's football season. I'm sorry.
Still got
the World Series gets an excuse. They get their week.
The World Series is still exciting.
See,
it's the October Classic.
Those are 2 teams
that takes place in November.
It's also 2 teams I don't care about.
That I could probably care less about. Like if it was the Phillies, I'd probably watch because I've been a big Phillies guy. But I have no correlation with the Diamondbacks. I'm just glad the Rangers beat the Astros. That's really all I get from them. So I don't know. This is kind of an underwhelming World Series. I'm glad it's 2 new teams, but I'm pretty underwhelmed.
What is it? The 87 win Diamondbacks make the World Series.
Yeah.
I just thought I would.
As a Rockies fan, I was like, cool. The Diamondbacks made it. I don't like.
I don't know.
It could be interesting because the Rangers either put up 10 runs or none.
Yeah.
So I think the Rangers could sweep the Diamondbacks.
I'm with John in this one. I'm just glad it's not Houston.
Yeah.
The Astros needed gone.
I would have been I really don't care that much about this one. There's no likable characters in this matchup.
Agreed.
Well, that was our MLB talk. little sour in the mouth, I guess. But
we're just giving our.
If the Diamondbacks bring back the vest jerseys for the World Series,
and the stupid,
I will cheer for them.
It's not a good look.
The vests are electric.
Well, the World Series will start Friday. That'll be on, I don't even know what channel.
It's
Fox. Okay. Well.
Joe Davis.
NBA got their season kicked off last night.
Go Nuggets.
Warriors.
Warriors
lost to the Suns. It is the first game of the year. It's a long 82-game season.
Everybody claim your team right now.
Bulls.
Go Nuggets.
Go Bulls.
Go Nuggets.
The Bulls.
Don't care.
Yeah,
respect
no,
that. I
because
don't
last
care
year
either,
when we
but I
picked,
claim
last year
it.
when we picked our NBA playoffs, do you remember?
Yeah.
That was a disaster.
Yeah.
No, I mean, Suns are a very good team. I'm not mad about the loss from yesterday. We were dominated late in the second quarter. We came back, made it a game. CP3.
Everyone else
It's so
plays
weird cheering now for CP3 to get fouls because I would hate when he would try to take fouls against us.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, good job, Chris Paul.
Everyone else
kinda
plays.
weird.
Everyone else plays tonight. The Lakers lost last night to the Nuggets, 119-107.
Woo!
Nikola Jokic does what he does best.
No,
and looks
that's
like
because the king, my king, is a humble king.
Who?
And he said, it's ring ceremony night. I'm not going to poop on their parade.
Who's your king?
He's everybody's king.
LeBron. King James.
He says, I'm
Oh,
going
that
to
guy.
let you guys celebrate your ring because I'm a humble man, and then we'll get you next time.
Personally, my
And-
kings are fat and from Serbia.
and,
Yoshi.
drops triple doubles because he dropped a triple double last night, 29 points.
He always looks like he's out of breath.
He is the most unathletic big white man I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, also Dario Saric, the Warriors' new big, might be the worst player I've ever seen play basketball. Oh my gosh, never let that dude play again. I get that Kevon Looney needs some break, but jeez. All he could do was get rebounds, but he was looked like he was tripping on his feet every time he moved.
Tell us how you really feel, John.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Okay, well, might be a long season for John. Might be a long
Oh no,
season.
I think Suns could be coming out of the West this year, and we were right there.
No shot.
CP3, although Charles Barkley did say we were the fourth best team in California if the Clippers are healthy, but I think most teams in the NBA would probably be the fourth best. Like with the exception of some of the top teams, most teams would be the fourth best team in California.
What did Charles Barkley call out Adam Silver for?
Oh,
The domestic stuff.
yeah.
Like
And then-
how they're gonna
horrible it's been.
Yeah, and how they're gonna respond to it.
And then he also had a thing about load management.
Oh,
players, sitting when they're making.
Let me tell you.
30,
Let me tell you here, Shaq.
I love Charles Barkley. He's kind of an idiot, but he's funny to listen to.
What do you get a guy on? He's
Pounding you from the
name's
rear.
Shaq. I'm the big diesel.
Whoa.
That's what he said.
Oh, okay.
I'm just quoting what he said.
I was about to say it's more out of context than anything. That's just me.
NFL.
He's banging you inside.
That's what it was.
Yeah, there we go.
Brother.
That's what he said. I'm quoting what he said.
Yeah, if he can say it on a national TV.
Oh, that's fair, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, are we not going to talk about the game we were at, Ethan?
Yes, I was just about to say the Denver Broncos beat the Green Bay Packers. John and I were at this game.
Yep.
And Russell Wilson played decent. Jordan Love,
Trash.
I'll let John do his little thing here.
You bought the shirt. You can't say he's trash.
There's a reason I bought the shirt and not the jersey because I don't believe in him, and this is what I've seen. He's trash. Matt LaFleur is a trash game planner. Joe Barry is a trash defensive coordinator. Credit to the Green Bay Packers fans. This is my first Packers game getting to go see the team on the road. We were in like a Packers-only section. It was great. Lots of Go Pack Go chants. But the team we're seeing on the field is trash. I miss you, 12. Come back. I love you, Aaron.
Will say, coming from a Broncos fan, I'm a little disappointed in Broncos fans, for one, not being that loud sometimes, and two, allowing Packers fans to raid that stadium.
Oh, yeah.
But it didn't matter because Russell Wilson and the Broncos cook. The Broncos are 12-0 against the Packers at home in their history.
Fire everybody in Green Bay.
I want to state one thing. Whenever it comes to the Packers or the Patriots, I feel like you're always going to have a tougher time selling out the stadium to more of your home fans than than the rival, because everybody you'll have your bandwagon. For the Packers, what we've seen with Aaron Rodgers in the past few years, we'll have your bandwagon with the Patriots, what we had with Tom Brady.
How is jumping on the Aaron? What? We haven't made it.
Let me cook.
We haven't been to the Super Bowl since 2011.
You're like Russell Wilson. We're not going to let you cook, and then you're going to overrate everything.
There's still a lot of Packers fans, and the Packers are one of those teams that everybody
they have a loyal fan base.
They have a very loyal fan base. The same as well with the Patriots, and with the Patriots in the Tom Brady era, they were able to get a lot of fans from all across the United States. Case in point, Grant Ty.
John's dumbfounded right now.
What you're trying to say is that they have loyal. I think what
I see it with Patriots fans. It's not with Packers fans.
I think what you're trying to say is that they have loyal and passionate fan bases that travel to other teams' home games.
Yes, and
that's your point, right?
And you also have a lot
bandwagon
They're
fans.
not bandwagons. They travel well.
And you also have, I mean, whenever you have an NFL game, you're also going to have a lot of people who are just going to be fans of, of other teams. I mean, for instance, how many Green Bay Packers fans are there who live in Denver proper or in the area of Colorado?
I have no idea.
Probably
I don't
quite
have
a
the
few.
numbers on that.
It's like the MLB.
At least one or two.
Yeah, at least
you'll have the same thing with
There's
the
like
Yankees and the Red Sox. When I was at a Royals Red Sox game about 2 years ago, I'd probably say it's about 65.
Big baseball fan, Alex Hammeke.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's also because the Royals just don't have fans anymore because nobody wants to go see that crap.
You're right.
Because the only time we get high attendances now at games is because it's a team like that comes in, because we only have 10,000 people come to our games.
Yeah, the Dodgers
Because
home
we're
game
terrible.
at Coors Field was electric.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Royals, you looking forward to that new stadium, fellas?
Okay, we're still talking about the NFL here.
But no, I'm not.
But okay, well, the NFL. I mean, okay. I got to figure out a way to transition this because we got a little off topic talking about that. But
sorry.
Okay, I guess we are 7-8 games through the season. Who's our Super Bowl favorite looking like right now?
God, it's so weird still to even.
I know, but I mean, I feel like you've got a good established idea on who's really good, who are frauds, and so on and so forth.
Eagles are the team to beat in the NFC. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, I mean that's
AFC is wide open.
Yeah. And the Eagles have no weakness because they just traded for Kevin Byard.
Yep.
They've got a stacked receiving corps, stacked O-line, stacked running back room. Jalen Hurts is playing well. That D-line, I mean, where's a weakness on this Eagles team?
Here's my thing about the AFC. Chiefs haven't looked great this year, but they're 6-1, and they focus more on Taylor Swift than they do their football games. When you can have that luxury as a fan, I think your team's pretty good. I think people don't want to admit it, but I think we are on a crash course for Chiefs-Eagles once again.
Yeah.
Because Dolphins
go ahead.
are extremely up and down.
Yeah.
Turnover boy plays for the Bills.
Turnover boy.
Ravens are one of those teams that'll dominate the Lions and then lose to the Titans. So, and Jaguars, they're just not good enough yet. So, I think people don't want to admit it, but Patty Mahomes is probably going to be back in the Super Bowl again, and you will see Taylor Swift, Jackson Mahomes, and Brittany Mahomes all bumping butts.
I thought Jackson
that was
Mahomes,
the cringiest thing ever.
I thought Jackson Mahomes was in jail.
Yeah.
Honestly.
He should be. He should be.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, I think he's going to have a court date next month, potentially.
He got out on bond.
Yeah,
right?
but he'll have a court
he
date,
will.
however, to discuss things next month.
I already wasn't a fan of the guy, and it got a little worse. A lot worse. I have a reason to not like him now.
Jackson Mahomes is the reason why I do not like the Kansas City Chiefs anymore.
I can't put that all on him.
No,
I love
put it
watching
all
the
on
Chiefs
Jackson.
play. I like watching the Chiefs play.
Oh,
I do too.
I
just
can't
don't-
stand
okay.
it anymore.
I can't stand the Chiefs because of the Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift thing. Jackson and Brittany Mahomes. Yep. I don't really like Patrick Mahomes just because he's dominated our Broncos now for like 4 years, 4 or 5 years.
I'm here.
Oh dear God, don't get that started.
Go Chiefs.
The thing that
I
gets
throw ball
me
to
is
Travis
that I
Kelce.
remember the Tyler Palco days when the Kansas City Chiefs absolutely sucked. And now all of a sudden everybody in Kansas City is like, wow, I really like Chiefs now. It's like the cool new thing in America. No, shut up. You're not. You weren't here during the Tyler Palco days when we sucked. We were 2-14 and we were trying to can Cornell. Don't join us.
The Lions?
We.
You talking about the Lions?
No, the Chiefs.
Yeah, we. You're a Lions fan.
I'm a Lions
No.
fan,
So
yes.
don't say we. Say
I'm
them.
a Lions fan, yes.
So then,
but I grew up forced to watch Kansas City Chiefs games my entire life. So I've had to endure every Sunday the Tyler Palco era, the Matt Castle era, and then when Kyle Orton showed up, then people were like, "Wow, Kansas City is really fun." Nobody was there during their worst moment, but now everybody's cashing in on their best moment. That's the problem I've got with Chiefs Nation.
Oh, well, we got to vote on the Twitter poll.
Yeah, we got our wish. Double-digit votes, ladies and gentlemen. It's a mere couple seconds away from wrapping up. And
mine's
looks like
finished.
We're going to have a clear winner.
Yeah.
Yep, we've got a clear winner. And last place for who is most likely to become a TikTok star is Traeton Harimon.
This is the most hurtful Twitter poll ever. It's like I have no joy in my life that anybody sees.
And then tied for second place, I guess, is John and I, who are most likely. John, I will say you probably really should have won this because you have posted a TikTok.
I have, yep.
And then the winner is Alex Hammeke for who is most likely to become a TikTok star. I think that means you have to post a TikTok
do a TikTok
now.
dance.
You got to do a TikTok dance in front of
WAP?
the camera over here. So
Now from the top, make it drop. That's a WAP.
Okay, come on.
Whoa. Yeah,
No, you got to do a TikTok dance. Come on.
not.
You won the Twitter poll.
I'm not.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Alex is a fun hater.
I will not be doing a Twitter poll question challenge.
Let me show everybody why I should have won.
Yeah, we're
Just
done.
pretend like the music's playing.
Renegade.
What's the ratchet one? I don't know.
The ratchet one?
I don't know. There was one of those.
Hey, it's 5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock. You know what that
5
means? It's
o'clock
the time where we sadly end Throwing Lopes. Thank you all for tuning in. We will see you later. Tune into some Loper Sports on KLPR this weekend. Have a great rest of your day, and we will see you